Hello friends, welcome back. This is Amit from Magnet, and today we are going to create this awesome environment design inside Element 3D. So first take a look what we are going to create today. So if you are new to this channel, I recommend you to check my videos, and if you find those videos useful, please do subscribe this channel and turn the notification on. And here is the name for those people who has already joined me as a member. So if you really want to support me, you can also join me as a member. So let's get started. So first we create a new composition for our scene. So go to the composition and create a new composition here, and the duration will be 10 seconds long, and just hit OK. And then we create a new solid for our element layer. So go to create this solid here and name this as element, and we just hit OK here. And then go over this effect and presets and search for Video Copilot element, and just double click on the element. So element is applied here. So now we go to this scene setup. Okay, here are we in element. So first we find the arena model. So here is the arena model folder, and if I click on here, that is the arena final model, and you will see this is the model that I'm going to use here, and I'm downloading this model from the Sketchfab, and you can also get the link in the description down below. So download this model, and you can also get all this model pack for Element 3D in the description down below, and those are Element 3D ready. So you definitely download this one to follow along this tutorial. So now we're going to put some material on this. So for the material, I am going to use the Video Copilot Pro Shader 2 collections. So if you have this, it is a very nice collection from Video Copilot. So just expand this, and I'm using some concrete materials. So here is the concrete folder, and if I go little down here, and you will see this one. So I'm using this one. So just click and drag and drop to here, and you can see that it instantly change it all the topology. So we have to fix this. So before we fix this, let's apply another texture to these walls as well. So I'm using the same material, so just click and drag and drop here. Okay, so this look nice. So first we going to select this one, which is the wall, and then we click on the settings switch here, and then go little down, and you will see this option, that is the draw back face. So just enable this one, and do the same for this one as well. So just select this one and go down and just click on this draw back face. Okay, so now you will see that the resolution look very big here, because we have to increase the UV tiling. So we select this model, and then we go to this UV mapping here, and then go to the repeat value. We're going to change this value to 10 by 10. Okay, now the resolution look nice. Okay, so this look awesome. And also one thing we have to do, that just enable or disable these draft textures. Okay, and then we can select our model and make sure that you check this optimize mesh switch here. Just enable this, and this way it will fasten your render time. Okay, and now we're going to put the statue model at the middle of this arena. Okay, so for this I am going using this one. So I'm also gave this model in the description down below, and also I'm download this model from the Sketchfab. So you can also get the link from the Sketchfab to download this model. So just click on here. So you can see that it's also a Element 3D ready model. So you do have to one thing, that just click on here and it will appear here. So you have to do one thing, that you select this model and then go down here and you will see the optimize mesh. Just turn this on. Okay, so now our arena scene is ready. So now I'm going to put a environment to make a nice lighting for our scene. So first you go to this environment and you will see the basic environment map here, but I'm going to change this one. So I'm using this HDRI map. So if you see that, this is the HDRI map that I'm going to use it. So I close this and I just click and drag and drop to here. Okay, so it's a 4K map and you can see that the resolution is so nice, and just hit OK. And then you can see that you can't see the environment because I have to turn this on from here, and you can see that this look amazing. And if I go inside this arena, you can see that it creates a nice result to our scene. Okay, so now we're going to put some ground assets here. So under the VR arena model pack, you will see that the cement rubble model, and I'm just click on here and you can see it also element 3D ready. So first we select this model and make sure that you turn on this optimize mesh switch, and then select this model, and then we go over here, that is a scale, and we just decrease the scale. Okay, so you can put it up and down to make a nice look to your scene. So first we going to put it here or maybe here, and then I'm going to duplicate this for multiple time. So how we duplicate this? Just press and hold the Alt key in the Windows and then drag any axis here, and then we're going to rotate this. So I press E to bring the rotation gizmo here, or you can just select the rotation gizmo from here and you just rotate this just like this, and then I press W, or you can just click on here, that is the move gizmo here, and then I'm also duplicate it again by pressing the Alt key. Okay, just like this, and then I put it little down here just like this, and also I duplicate it here and then I rotate this just like this, and also I move it little up just like this. Okay, so this is how you can put the ground rubbles here just like this. And then again, this is our group number 1 assets. So I collapse this group and then I click on this ground rubble again, and you can see that when we click this ground level, it appeared inside the folder. So just we click and drag and out from this group. Okay, just like this, and we place this in the group number 5 because we're going to replicate it multiple times later on. Now we're going to hit the OK switch here, and you can see that it looks something like this. So first we go to the group number 5 and disable it for now. Okay, and then we collapse this for now. First we create a camera for our scene. So we go to the layer, new, and create a camera here, and 24mm look nice, but we're going to change it later on. Just hit OK. Okay, and you can see that it going to blur because my previous camera had the depth of field turned on, so it memorized the settings. So first we go to the camera settings by pressing the AA, 2 times press the A, and just disable the depth of field. Okay, and then we select this camera tool here and just move our camera here just like this. Maybe we go inside the arena here. Okay, and you can see that it really look amazing, but you can see that we missing our sky. So go to the element layer, go to the render settings, then we expand the physical environment switch here, and inside this you will see this show in BG, that is the background. Just check this, and now you can see the sky as well. Okay, so this is very easy to set up this scene. Now we're going to set up our lighting, which is very important. So we go to the layer, new, and create a light. So for this I'm going to use a spotlight, but you can also use the parallel light. Okay, let's use the parallel light first. Change the light color to something like warmish color here, and just hit OK, and then increase the intensity to maybe 500 for now, and make sure that you check this cast shadow switch here and just hit OK, and you will see that the light looks something like this. Now we select this parallel light here and press P to bring the position values. And we're going to first we change the Z axis position to 0, and then we increase the or maybe decrease the Y axis value to put this light at the top, and then we also change the position by changing the Z axis. Okay, just like this. Okay, maybe we create a something like a rim lighting to our statue here, just like this. Okay, so when you set up your light, make sure that you turn on the shadows. So go to the element layer, then we collapse this, then under the render setting you will find these shadows. Just enable this and you will get a nice shadow to your scene. So if you think that your shadow is a very low resolution, you can also change the map size to maybe 4K. Okay, and you can also change this to maybe 8K, but 4K look nice for this kind of scene. And also do one thing, that go to the parallel light setting and also increase the shadow size. Okay, so it look really amazing. Okay, and then also we do go to this ambient occlusions and turn this on, and also we change this ambient occlusion to ray trace, so it will look very amazing. And if you do one thing, that you can also change the shadow to maybe ray trace, but before we do, we have to save our project, because sometime when we enable the ray trace shadow, the system will crash. So just remember this to save your project, and then we change this to ray trace. Okay, so now you will see that our scene going to bit heavy, but I think the shadow map look amazing, so we're going to use the shadow map. Okay, so our scene looks something like this now. Okay, so now we put some other objects here. So first we put some objects in the ground. So for this we go to our group number 5 here, and then we enable this. Okay, and then we go to this particle replicator and we change this from point to plane. Okay, and we increase the count here, just like this. Okay, and now we go little down here and then go to this particle look, and we decrease the particle size, just like this, and also increase the particle size randomness little bit, not much. And then we increase this shape scale, just like this. Okay, and also increase the count little bit more and increase the scale shape, just like this. Okay, so now we're going to do some randomization here. So for this, go little down here, and then you will see this replicator effect, and under this we see this scattering option, and we just scattered this x-axis as well as the z-axis, just like this. Okay, and also increase the particle size little bit. Okay, and then we do one thing, that we go to the position and we decrease or increase the y position value, just like this. Okay, so in that way you can see that only the top portion will be visible over this surface. Okay, and now you can see one thing, that if we go little close over here, you will see that the shadow is not proper here. So in order to fix this, we're going to change the shadow method to ray trace. But as I say, before we changing anything to ray trace, first we save our project and then we change this to ray trace, like this, and you can see that the shadow look amazing. Okay, so now we're going to put some debris, or you can say the rock or the stamps to fly. Okay, so in order to do this, first we go to the scene setup here, and then I go to this VR arena folder here, and now we're going to use these rocks and those trunks and some blocks to make the debris scene. So we're going to put all these assets into a new folder, or you can say the new group. So first we click here, and you can see that this rocks is really looks stunning, because I download this rock from the Megascan assets, and you can see that it really creates a nice model. Okay, and you can also download all this model that I give the link in the description down below, so you can get all the models and you can use it very easily inside Element 3D. So first we put this rock, and we can use this rock in a separate group, so I put it in the group number 2 because we're going to use this rock as a single, as well as we also put same rocks into another folder, or you can say another group, that is the group number 3. So this rock also I am going download this rock from the mega scan, and you can see this is a very nice looking rock here. And every time you put in your object, make sure that you enable this optimize mesh, so it really creates a nice rock model here. Okay, so we're going to put this rock and this rock into group number 3, and also we use some this trunk model, and you can see that it a very nice model, and we also use this into group number 3, and also use this one into group number 3, and you can see that this is also a nice model, and I'm downloading this model from the mega scan, and also this one. Okay, and put it into group number 3. Okay, so I do little bit fast here, but you can understand what I am doing here. I just put this model into group number 3, and also I put this one into group number 2, this one into group number 2. Okay, so everything look nice, and just hit OK for now. Okay, here we are. Now first we going to take care of the small debris. So first we go to the group number 2 and just disable this, and then we go to the group number 3 here, and then we go to this replicator shape and we change this to plane. Okay, and also do one thing, that we go to this particle look and decrease the particle size to maybe something like this, and then we increase the particle count here. Okay, so it will take little time to update the settings here. Okay, just like this, and also you can increase little bit more, and you can see that the size of these rocks and debris are so much, so we going to decrease it little bit more, just like this. Okay, maybe here, and then we going to increase this particle size randomness to maybe 100%. Okay, and also you can increase it little bit more, and then we go to this position option here, and we put it little bit higher here, just like this. Okay, and then we go to this particle look and go to this particle rotation, and then we go to this particle rotation XYZ. If we make some room here, and we can just rotate it into a random number. Okay, just like this, and also you can rotate this by clicking here, that is the particle randomness. Okay, and in order to put a nice rotation animation, we can do the animation here, that is the rotation randomness, and we go to the very beginning of this and we make a keyframe here, and then we go to the very end and we can increase the rotation, just like this. Okay, so if I make a RAM preview here, you can see that the rocks are slowly rotating into a random direction. Okay, so it look nice, but we going to put more settings to make it look nicer. So we go to this group number 3 under the replicator effect. We see the scatter option here. First we increase the scattering here, just like this. Okay, and you can see it really creates a nice scattering here, but our rocks are not visible properly. So we do one thing, that go to the layer new and create a ambient light for our scene. So we create ambient light and we change this light intensity to maybe 80% and hit OK. So now you can see, we can see our scene very nicely, and then we go to our element layer again and we can increase the particle count. So it's all depends on you, that how much your PC can handle, and more you put the particle, it look more organic, and you can see that it really creates a nice result. But I think this rock is not look good to me, so I go to the scene setup and I go into this rock. This rock look nice, but it not fits in the scene, so I delete this for now and hit OK. And now you can see that this rock look nice. I mean, really amazing. Okay, and also do one thing, that if we going to put some smaller rocks here, we go to the scene setup and we can duplicate this rock. Just duplicate this, and we going to decrease the scale little bit, very down here, and also go to this stamp or go to this one or maybe this one. We're going to duplicate this and maybe we increase the scale little bit, so there will be a large trunk also, and then we hit OK, and you can see that it makes a little bit more randomization here. Okay, just like this. So this will be nice for our scene, and if we increase it little bit more, okay, just like this. So this look amazing. Or maybe we can go here, that is the particle random size randomness, we can decrease it little bit, just like this. Okay, so this look really amazing. And now we going to put a little animation here. So we go to this particle position here, that is the position XY. So we're going to put a little bit of animation that we create a scene that the rocks are flying above. Okay, so first we put our rock into this position. Okay, just like this. Or maybe we go here, that is the scattering option. Here is the scatter option, and you can see that the Y scattering is 0. So we can even more decrease it to make it little flat here, and then we go to this position and we put it here, just like this. Okay, and then we make a keyframe here and go to the very end and we put it here, just like this. Okay, and then also we go down here, that is the scatter option. First we go our very beginning frame here, make a keyframe here, and then go to the very end and we increase this, just like this. Okay, so let's see how it look like. So make a ramp preview here. Okay, so now you can see that it really creates a nice animation to our debris. Okay, so but you can see that our ground debris are very less amount, so we go to the group number 5 and we can increase the count here, so it can blends with all this debris that flying. Okay, so just like this. And now we're going to put the same settings to the large rock that is present in the group number 2. So we expand the group number 3 and go to the very beginning here, and then we do one thing, that we go to the group number 2, I mean the group number 3 copy paste option, that is the group utility, and just copy all the values from the group number 3, and then we collapse this group number 3 and expand the group number 2. First we enable this, that is our this rock. Maybe our rock look very large here, but don't worry, we have all the settings, so we just paste the value here. Okay, just like this. But we do one thing, that we decrease the particle count of this large rock here, and we do one thing, that we can increase the size. So we go to the particle look option here and we increase the size little bit. Okay, and let's see how it look like. Okay, but we also do the same settings, that is the same animation keyframe to this rock as well. So first we go to this group number 2 and make a keyframe to this XY position, and then go to the very end and we put the rock little higher here. Okay, a little bit more higher, and then also we go to the very beginning, then we go to this scatter option here under this replicator effect, and we make a keyframe here, and then we go to the very end and we make this rock scatter to the x-axis as well. I mean the y-axis, sorry. So now if we see, you can see that it really makes a nice animation to our scene. Or maybe we can decrease the particle count of this large rock here, or maybe we can decrease the particle size, or maybe increase it, and also decrease the count. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so one thing we forgot, that our large rock is not rotating randomly, so we can also make this by making the keyframe to the particle rotation. So we just expand this and go to this random rotation and go to the very end, and we can rotate it. Okay, so now it also rotate in a random direction. Okay, just like this. So this is very nice looking animation here. Okay, so now we going to put some camera animation here. So how we do this? So this is our camera, and you can see you can rotate or move around your camera by using the camera tool. But how I animate my camera is a very simple way, that first I go to the layer new and create a null object, and this null object basically control our camera. So in order to control the camera by using null object, first we make this null object into a 3D null object, and then we select this null and maybe we name this as cam control, and then we link our camera with that null object. Okay, so now if I press P by selecting this null object, and if I move our null object, you can see that our camera also moving. Okay, just like this. So maybe we can make a keyframe here, and then we go to the very end and make another keyframe here. Okay, and then also go to the very beginning and go to this camera and press R to bring the rotation, and then we rotate our camera into this angle, and then we make a keyframe to the y-axis, I mean the x-axis, and then we down our camera a little bit here, and also go to this position of this null object and put it down a little bit like this, and then go to the very end, and we can rotate our camera here just like this. And let's see how it look like with this camera animation. Wow, you can see that it really creates a nice camera animation here, and with the rock animation, rock flying animation, it really creates a nice result. So I realized that if I make another dimension of animation to this rock flying, it would be great. So maybe we go to this element layer, and then we go to the group number 2, and then I go down here and under this create null object, and I can create a null object for this group number 2, as well as we expand this group number 3, go little down here, go create a null object for the group number 3 as well. So now if I go to the group number 2 null object and press R, and maybe I can make a rotation animation to this. So I select the Y rotation and make a keyframe, go to the very end, and I rotate this like this. Okay, and I do the same for this group number 3 particles. So I press R, make a keyframe and make a rotation here, and also go to the very beginning and make this 0. Okay, so let's see. Okay, but when you put this kind of rotation, you have to take care of this, that some of the particles are intersecting here. So how will you fix this? But just go to this element and then go to the shape scale and decrease the shape scale of this group number 2 as well as in the group number 3. Okay, just like this. Okay, and now if you see that you can make a nice rotation into the clockwise rotation to all the particles, as well as the individual particle random rotation, and also the same time the particles are moving upwards. So it's a very nice animation and it really makes a nice result to your scene just like this. So now we're going to make some cool camera animation techniques here. So in my actual video, if I go here, in my actual video, you can see that this camera animation is look really amazing. And in this scene, you can see that we orbit around this statue here, and at the same time the camera goes inside these doors. Okay, so how will we do this? So we go to our main composition here, and you can see that we can have our camera control here. So if I press R and I rotate our camera, you can see that our camera is rotating, but if I make our null object into the same position of the statue, what will it happen? So before we do this, first we go to this camera and we make this none. So our camera is no longer controlled by this null object. And then I go to this element layer and then I collapse this and we go to this utility, select this 2D position and make this statue into the center. So I select this statue here and generate a null object here. Okay, so this is our null object, and then press P to bring the position value. Just copy this and I delete this, and then we go to this camera control null object, press P, and maybe I mean delete all the keyframes here, and then I paste the value. And in this way, our null object is placed exactly the same position of this statue. And now we select our camera and link with this camera control. Okay, so now if I press R and I rotate this, you can see that I orbit around this statue. Okay, but what if I want to move my camera position? So I go to this camera control, and if I change this position, you can see that now my null object is change the position from the center. And in this time, if I rotate our null object, you can see that again it misses the center of this scene. So how we can fix this? So I have a solution that if I disable or undo all this for now, and we can make another null object that place center of this scene. So first we make a null object here. So we name this as master control. Okay, and also we make this null object into 3D, and then we press P and paste the value. So because I already copied the value of the position of the null object that present in the center, and now I going to link my camera control to this master control null. Okay, so now if I change my position of this camera control by changing the position here, place my camera here just like this, and also we go to this camera and press R, and then I go disable this Y rotation, maybe we reset this, and then if I rotate my camera just like this, okay, maybe I zoom out the camera a little bit. So I select the camera and press A, and then I zoom out to maybe 800. Okay, just like this. And then if I go to this master control and press R, and now if I rotate this, you can see the magic here. So this is the main trick for that kind of the camera animation. So I make a keyframe here, or maybe we can start the camera animation when the rocks are start to fly. So I make this time as a beginning timing, and then maybe make a keyframe here, and then go to the very end, and then I rotate my camera just like this. Okay, and now if I make a ramp preview here, wow, and you can see that it really makes a nice camera animation here. And you can also make some secondary camera animation, that you go to the camera and make a room here and then press R, then go to the very beginning here and make some keyframe here, and also we rotate this camera into this angle and maybe this. Make this camera here and then go here, and we can move my camera here and also here, and then go to the very end and make it 0, just like this, and also this here. Okay, so let's see. Or maybe we can fasten up this animation to like this. Also put it here. Okay, so this look amazing. And also we can put some camera shake here. So we press A to bring the point of interest and make a simple expression to this point of interest by pressing and hold the Alt key and click on this stopwatch here, and we type wiggle and brackets, and inside the bracket we put the 4 times. It will shake randomly to 40 pixels. Okay, so if we ramp preview here, you can see that it can also put some random camera shake to our scene as well. Okay, so this will be amazing, but if you think the camera shake is little too high, so we can decrease the pixel amount. So maybe we can decrease it to 10 pixels, and we can also increase the frequency to maybe change this to maybe 10 by 10. So let's see. Okay, so for this tutorial purpose, I make this animation very speed, so you can visualize this, but in my actual video you can see that I make things very slowly. So you can see that, because if you make any kind of slow animation, it really makes an intense look. But for the sake of this tutorial, I make this thing little quick, so you can visualize that how it will look with this animation. Okay, so it's all depends on you that how much speed you want, just decreasing the amount of the speed or the keyframes. So this looks something like this, or maybe we can decrease the camera rotation. So first we go to this master control and press R, and then you can decrease the camera rotation animation, so it can slow enough your camera rotation, just like this. And also you can decrease the pixels that randomly shake our camera to maybe 2 pixels. So it will be very less, and it creates a very intense look here. Okay, so this is the trick of the camera animation that I use to build the scene. And you can also make some macro shots as well. But before we do this, let's make some color correction to our scene, because the color correction is a very nice part for this kind of scene. Okay, so for this we firstly create a adjustment layer and put this adjustment layer at the top, and I use some third-party plugins that I use, which is the Magic Bullet look effect, and I use this one, and then we go to this edit option here. Okay, so the color correction is all subjective, so you can use your interest on color correction, but let me choose some random color correction here. So maybe I use this one, and then I go to this tool and I use the optical diffusion, and it will create some of the really nice looking haze here. So I go to this preset and change this to chromatic bloom warm. Okay, and then also increase the density and also decrease the size. Okay, so very less in size here. Okay, just like this. And then also we go to the tool, and then I go here and put some halation here, so I put it here. And also I change the preset to this anamorphic highlights. Okay, and also increase the amount and decrease the size. Okay, just like this. And then I go to the tool, and also I put some LUTs here, so I just bring it here, and let's choose some LUTs that can fix here, or maybe this one I like, and just hit OK. And then I again go to the layer, new, and make an adjustment layer, and I go to this effect, and first you go to the color correction and tint effect, and then go to the color correction and the curve effect. Okay, I decrease the tint amount here, and also I make a little bit of darken our scene and boost the contrast here. Okay, just like this. And now you can see that it look amazing. Okay, and one thing we forgot to put, that is the fog. So we go to the element layer, and then we go to the render setting, and under this we find this fog, and we just enable this. And also we go to the fog color, and we make this color something like this, and then we increase the density, or maybe we adjust the density like this, and we can change this fog range, and also we change the fall off type to exponential, and then we decrease it. Okay, so this looks something like this. Okay, and one thing we can see that this rock is look little bright here, so we have to change the color as well. So we go to the scene setup, and then we go to the group number 5 here, and then we expand this material and go to this diffusion, and we darken up it little bit, and also we decrease the saturation. Okay, and also do one thing, that we go to this group, that is the group number 1, which hold the main model here, and we expand this, and we press Ctrl and just click on here. So select the material, and we can do one thing, that we copy and paste it to the reflectivity channel as well, the glossiness map, and we can increase the glossiness, contrast it, and also do the same to the reflection here. And then we go to the reflection, and we increase the reflectivity a little bit, not much. Okay, and if we hit OK, and now you can see that it make a little bit change to this rock here, but you can see that it is little too dark, so we decrease the darkness. So we go to the scene setup again, and then we go to this one, and maybe we can whiten up a little bit. Okay, and then we hit OK, and now it some manageable in color. Okay, so this looks something like this. Or maybe we can go to the group number 5, and we can increase the shape scale as well, so we can fill up all the areas just like this. Or maybe we can increase the particle count, and also we dip it down a little bit, or maybe we put it up. Okay, so this is all about this scene. And maybe we can make some other macro shots, so we can use another camera for this. So we create a new camera here and make these maybe 24mm right for now. And also we select the camera and press AA to bring this depth of field off, and then select the camera and go inside the arena here, and maybe we place our camera here just like this. And you can also make a nice camera movement from this position. So we select our camera and press P and A, make a keyframe, and then go to the very end and gradually dolly our camera here. Okay, but you can see that if sometimes some rocks are placed in between your camera and your subject, you can go to the element and let's identify which group these elements are. So we maybe uncheck this group, so it is present in the group number 2 here, and you can just change the random seed here, and when you find a nice position you can finalize this, and let's see how it look like with the animation. Okay, but you can see that some rocks are intersecting. So as I said before, just make sure that you can make your every object into its manageable position so it cannot be intersect the walls. Okay, so just like this. Okay, and now if we make a ramp preview here, you can see that it really makes a nice touch to our scene. Okay, so let's see. Wow, you can see that it really makes a nice cinematic look to our scene. Okay, so now if we want to make some macro shots here, so we disable all this camera animation and press AA to bring the zoom option, and we zoom it to maybe 5000 pixels and make a very macro shot here, and you can see that our scene is here just like this. Maybe we can put our statue into this side, and also I zoom or dolly my camera in here. Okay, and also go to the camera, the light here, and press P and change the light position to make a nice light position here just like this. Okay, and now if I go to the camera number 2 and press A and just turn on the depth of field, and you can see, wow, instantly it make a nice touch to our scene, because depth of field really help to make a nice scene. Okay, make sure that your statue is or your subject is in focus, and when you focus your scene, you just increase the aperture to make more depth to the scene just like this. Okay, so now if you can put it into an animation, you can see that it also create a nice result to your scene. Okay, so this is the main basics of this tutorial, and you can make other color correction to make your scene more nice. So this is the trick, and this is how I made all the scene here. So I think you really understand that how you can make this kind of scene, and if you really want to do this kind of stuff, you can definitely download my all the assets that I use for this scene, and all the assets are elementally ready. So I hope that you can download this and make something like this. So if you make something like this, please share with me, and if you like this video, please thumbs up, and please make your comment in the comment section below. And if you like to watch this kind of video, please check my other videos, and if you like all those videos, please do subscribe this channel and turn the notification on. So this is for today, and I hope you really enjoy this. So we will see in my next video. So till then, take care and bye bye.